Hey guys, OG Albine here, bringing you guys my IBL Season 6 Week 9 battle against Storm and his San Diego Sneasels. Storm is having a great season so far. If you haven't checked him out, be sure to go do so in the description below, as well as the other coaches, all that stuff. But he is currently, I believe, 6-2 at this point, while we are 5-3. So this is a very big game. If we can beat him, we can actually catapult him in the standings because we do have a pretty good differential. Hopefully you didn't just hear that big airplane just fly over right now. But like I was saying, yeah, he does have a better record than us. However, our differential would be a lot better if we were able to beat him, and we would jump into a top 2 spot. And in the IBL, it is top 2 seeds get a bye, and I would definitely prefer getting a bye opposed to having to play more games, because the less games you have to play to get to a championship, obviously, the better. And that is obviously our end goal. So yeah, definitely want to go in this game. But yeah, with that being said, let's just jump right into team matchup. Our team consists of the new Kimono, Zemus, Greninja, Jolteon, Rabombi, Arceus, Megazor, Mamoswine, Sarina, Porygon Z, and Kofagus, while our opponent's team consists of the Zygarde 50% with Zemus, Mimikyu, Klefki, Tornadus I, Ditto, Zebstrika with Zemus, Mega Venusaur, Weavile, Porygon 2, Kabutops, and Girder. Right off the bat, so our defensive matchup might not be that great. Actually, it's not really that bad. Honestly, the only thing that really scares me on my opponent's team is Zygarde. Zygarde is terrifying for us to switch into. That and the Tornadus I, actually. I kind of slept on the Tornadus I. Because, as you've seen in our previous weeks, we don't have the best flying spam switch-ins. And Torn-Eye, obviously, is no exception. That thing hits very, very hard. I think it actually hits harder than Torn-T. It's just Torn-T is a better overall mon. But yeah, that's very scary. Zygarde is very scary because our ground resistance is Sarina, and Sarina loses to Coil Zygarde, which is, really, really scary, and I don't want that to happen, obviously. So I kind of have a team that kind of forces Zygarde to not really be able to set up and beat us, but hopefully we can, deter that, because if he's like Coil, like Double Dance or something like that, it can get really, really dicey really, really fast. So we do have to, potentially play around that and be ready for that. Other than that, I feel like I check his team really well. You see the Mimikyu there. I honestly don't think Mimikyu should come versus me. I think Megazor just kind of hard stops it and says no, especially because it's not a Z move. It can't really break through me with like Go Z or anything like that. Like Life Orb plus 2 is going to do a decent amount, but I pretty much always revenge it as long as I break its disguise with Bullet Punch. So as long as I don't play horribly around it, it shouldn't be that big of a problem. Mega Venusaur, I do have multiple things to potentially check it. Weavile, I again have Megazor. Megazor matched up phenomenally in this game, and you'll see that it is actually definitely going to be my win con this week, and you'll see that in a minute here. But yeah, with that being said, I do want to just jump into my first mon right here, which is going to be our Arceus. It's rocking out with the Flyinium Z, defeat its ability, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Fly, Roost, 100 HP, 208 attack, 44 defense, and 156 speed with a jolly nature. Now, this mon actually does break through his team phenomenally. Flyzy is a nuke versus anything not named Klefki. He doesn't have anything to switch into it. That and like a disguised Mimikyu, I guess. But everything else really doesn't appreciate switching into Flyzy, plus like Stone Edge or something like that. Earthquake is so that we can hit that Klefki. We can 2-hit KO it pretty much 100% of the time. If he's not like Magnet Rise or something like that. And then Stone Edge, just Edgequake hits his team very hard, just in general. We're actually also, this is going to be our Torn-Eye check. We're much more offensive, but we can still check that thing potentially. We are never 2-hit KO by non-Life or Torn-Eye, even if he is mixed. So we do take 2 superpowers from a non-invested Tornadus, and then we do take 2 Hurricanes as well. And Roost is to stay healthy and stay out of our defeatist range, potentially, and stuff like that. So, yep, that is going to be our Arceus this week. Next up here is our Megazor. Like I said, it's going to be our win con this week. Technician ability, Bulletproof, Curse, Roost, and Knockoff. Max HP, 132 attack, 84 defense, 36 speed. 36 speed F and 4 speed with an adamant nature. We are a very, very offensive Megazor. After Mimikyu takes 1 round of Life Orb or Rocks, we knock it out 100% of the time with Bullet Punch. We just do a ton with that, even before our boost, which is great. We take a max special attack HP Fire from Mega Venusaur after Rocks, and then we threw the rest into defense to let us not be 3-hit KO'd by actually Adamant Zygarde's 1,000 arrows, unless he gets like an absolute max roll. It's like one of those 0.4% chances to knock out kind of things, and that's assuming he's Adamant. And yeah, that's actually really, really nice, because if he's not Coil himself, we actually set up all over that Zygarde, which is, you know, phenomenal. And even if he is coil, we can actually potentially beat it 1v1 provided we don't get crit and stuff like that. So Megazor is definitely really good. We have knockoff for the Porygon Z, just in case that thing wants to try and come in and check us well. We can knock it off and potentially come and beat it later. And yeah, Bullet Punch hits basically everything else that I needed to hit. He doesn't switch into the move very well at all. We 2-hit KO things like Tornadus. Like I said, we can beat Klefki 1v1 pretty much most of the time. We can beat Zygarde as well if he's not coil himself. This is a great Weavile check. It's a great Klefki check. So I figure this will do, you know, a lot of work for us, just so he can hopefully pick us up a dub. Next up, we have a Choice Banded Mamoswine, Earthquake, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, and Knockoff, Max Attack, Max Speed, Force for Death. This is a great breaker versus his team. It's a good check for Zygarde that's gotten out of hand too, like a DD Zygarde. If it gets to +2 or something like that for some reason, with just a tiny bit of chip, we can pick it off with Ice Shard just because of how strong Mamo is. He doesn't switch into this thing at all though. Knockoff if we want to catch a potential Porygon 2 switch in case he is like a defensive set opposed to Spadef. And we can knock off its Eviolite, then we can take it on better next time. We want to come in and click Earthquake or Icicle Crash. And then, yeah, so basically Mamo's here to click buttons. It's basically here to revenge stuff like Tornai and Zygarde, which are the two biggest threats to our team. We can also, you know, potentially revenge Mimikyu if we get a lot of chip on it, and for some reason we choke with our Scizor, or he's like a Berry or something like that, and he lives a Bullet Punch and we are weakened. Just, it's a good backup check, basically. And yeah, that is going to be Mamoswine. Next up, we have our Kimono, rocking out the leftovers. Bulletproof ability, Sub, Dragon Dance, Drain Punch, Dragon Claw. 36 HP, max attack, and 220 speed with the Jolly Nature. Now, I know you look at the set and you say, hey, this is walled by Mimikyu. You're literally walled by it. I know, but like I said, I don't think it's going to come. I really don't think Mimikyu's going to come versus me. I don't think it's very good versus me at all. And if it does, then I just keep this in the back until I knock it out. Because again, I think he has to kind of use it as mid-grade breaker. I don't think it'll ever really sweep me. But yeah, if I can get rid of that and I get like a sub up on something like Porygon 2 or you know, potentially like a switch out if we can force a switch at +1, or if we can get a sub behind Mega Venusaur because we can avoid Bulletproof, we can avoid Sludge Bombs from that thing, and his best way of touching me is potentially like Leech Seed or Toxic or something like that. We can get up a sub, start Dragon Dancing out. That also lets us avoid the Ditto, you know, copying our boost and stuff like that, which is great. And we can knock that thing out with Dragon Claw, and just Drain Punch plus Dragon Claw hits his team really, really hard opposed to the Mimikyu. Klefki obviously still take neutral, and everything that Drain Punch doesn't hit, Dragon Claw does. So I figure Kimono is actually a very viable win con if we can't get rid of the Mimikyu, or if it does not come versus us. So yeah. Next up we have our Mew, rocking out the leftovers as well. Synchronize ability. Psychic, Vacuum Wave, Roost, Nasty Plot, 244 defense, 44 special attack, and 220 speed with a timid nature. Now, this is another bulky setup on the team. I think it's our third one so far, which is pretty funny being that we're playing a Ditto, but I feel like all of our setup actually does beat Ditto and doesn't allow Ditto to reverse sweep us. Like, if Ditto wants to come in on us, he sees we're Nasty Plot, he can't touch it. He can't beat us 1v1 unless we're like +6 and we're super weakened. As long as we stay out of range of our own Psychic, we should be completely fine. And I don't think that's too hard, and we obviously can roost off damage while the Ditto cannot unless he is in Choice Scarfed. Vacuum Wave is obviously for that Weavile. The 44 special attack investment allows us to always OHKO that thing at +2 if he's not bulky. Then we threw 220 into speed. Gosh, 220 into speed so that we always outspeed Jolly Zygarde. And then we threw the rest in defense to eat hits from the Zygarde. We're not 2-hit KO by Jolly +1 arrows after leftovers, and if there aren't rocks up. So this gives us a good, decent check to that as well. If we can Nasty Plot up on that thing and throw off big Psychics and stuff like that, that's obviously really nice. And yeah, lastly, we have Sarina finally come back for its second game. Leftovers as well. Queenly Majesty ability, Trop Kick, Toxic, Synthesis, and U-Turn. This is going to be our Zygarde check. It's not the best initial Zygarde switch-in, if we're being completely honest. We always break no HP Zygarde sub with 20 attack investment and an Adamant Nature with Drop Kick. Toxic lets me wear it out his team. Synthesis is for longevity. U-Turn is to grab momentum versus his team. We're not 3-hit KO by Adamant Banded Arrows from the Zygarde, and we're creeping no speed Mega Venu by a few points. I think it hits base 100, so if he wanted to go 102, expecting us to go 101 to outspeed him, we'd hit 103, and, you know, we'd obviously outspeed him then. And then we just do the rest in Spadef just to you know, potentially take a spit F hit if we need to. Sarina isn't the best mon in this matchup, honestly. I don't think it's very good at all. But if we can toxic a few things, grab some momentum on some obvious switches, that would be very nice. And if we can, you know, just stop that Zygarde from completely sweeping us, that would be obviously phenomenal as well. If he wants to try and throw up subs versus us, if he's not super bulky, we should always break his sub. And yeah, that is going to be our team for week 9 of the IBL versus Storm. Like I said, very, very big game. I do want to win this one really bad, just so we can potentially get that first round bye and have a shorter path to the potential championship, which is obviously the end goal of the season. So yeah, if you guys are already excited for the battle, be sure to like the video. If you're new, be sure to subscribe so you can catch that battle as it goes up tomorrow. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys later.